of it. But nevertheless, he went to work for a company, stayed there for maybe 12, 13 years, but it just was not, he wasn't developing his own artistic skills. And what you see on television right now is what he wanted to do, nature. And he was very successful. His original painting sells for thousands, $40,000, $50,000. His prints sell for anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000.
This is in the museum. This is some of his own printing presses?
He owned his own printing equipment,
right,
and oversaw the prints being made because he didn't want to sell anything under his name that wasn't first class.
A Heidelberg Speedmaster. We'll see that out to our friends over at Bodemullers and Andropon Printing both.
You bet.
You know,
they've had
those kind of
they might have
before.
one of those still, but I'm sure they've
updated since then, sure.
But anyhow, very interesting. And he made a lot of money, and he decided to build a museum. And his son, I think it's Charles, talked him into coming back to Watertown, his hometown, doing something for the community that gave him his start. And of course, you all saw this young lady here helped us very much. And of course, Mr. Jim had a gift for both Ramp and I. I took a clock.
That's the sign of the Redland Arts Center. It won even a general contractor's award for the building. They said his son helped.
His son designed the complete building. And I don't think he's an architect, but he designed the building. And it's a 4-story building.
So if you want to find out more info, go to redlandart.com. And then there's Mr. Jim.
Jim barbecuing for us that night. That's the hospitality we received when we were there. And of course, Tony Sasher
products up there.
Right there. I had to take a picture of that. And here we are outside, beautiful setting in his backyard. And then we leaving out, and I had to have a picture of the lady of the house, Miss Orris, and Mr. Jim. And then this is some pictures of an idea that maybe Evangeline Downs could set up maybe 25, 50 RV slots. People are asking for it. And this is on the exterior of the perimeter. And they have the water and the electricity. Then they have a central dump station, which works out real nice. And anyhow, we were on the Horseshoe Casino, and they have a dog track, so it's the same kind of setup as Evangeline Downs. And this is back in my motorhome, and this is...
Welcome back, yes, hello.
I talked about Tommy Ray Brady a whole bunch of times, and he won this prize.
A penguin.
A penguin, and there's a penguin featured in one of the ads that is heavily used right now in advertising. I'll get it later. And this is the young couple that sold me the shirt I have on and the shirts that I bought. Bought a real big one for my friend Benny and Lee Worley. Lee Worley called me and told me the sizes, and I bought them.
There you go.
And anyhow, on the way back, we almost ran out of fuel, and we ran across Elbert. And Elbert had a little.
Saved you, huh?
He saved us over in Ida, Louisiana. We were right on this side of the border.
Now, this was last night
At the REAP function I keep talking about.
They had a men's beauty contest?
Yep, this is Martin Brown. Martin Brown is well into his 60s and still working horses, but mostly driving vehicles now. And this is one of the contestants. And the
Tell you what, there's some
queen,
rough looking, those guys are rough looking girls.
Yeah, boy, but they were good. The one holding the long trophy is the winner. And this is Kurt Bork's son, Chip Bork, who is, he was the winner last year, the first annual event. And a lot of laughs and a lot of good time, and hopefully
generated some money.
Generated money for a good cause.
Well, let me show you where I went while you were doing all that. I went to the old Ville Platte Bank, or Evangeline Bank, I guess, over in Ville Platte, Louisiana. It's now called the Coxtail Restaurant, really nice restaurant. And what they're trying to do in Ville Platte is trying to put together a community theater. And they're going to call it Troop Evangeline Community Theater for all the Evangeline Parish area. Trying to get, just like we have Little Theater over here here in Opelousas. They're trying to do the same thing there. And they had a dinner theater. Now, the Cocktail's normally at a restaurant, but they had dinner theater, a murder mystery, and had some of the actors running around. The place was packed. Had some of the actors and actresses there.
I recognize an actress.
On the right, Miss Austin Guidros. Good
My
morning,
God,
Austin.
child.
She was the murderer in the end. She did it. Somebody got to him with a knife, but it wasn't good enough. She finished him off with a rock. She was pretty tough.
Lordy, bad.
She was bad. But they had a huge crowd, over 100 people. I want to thank everybody who all told me that they watched the Bobby Dupre show and they recognized me. And I want to send a shout out to my good buddy I cut up with that night, Mr. Winky O'Quinn.
Oh, Lord.
The attorney over there, and of course, a younger brother of Judge Preston. And then one other thing I did this weekend, I went to the Steubenville South Conference in Alexandria with a big group from St. Landry Catholic Church. Father Brady up there at the top of the steps, and all the kids there in between, some of the Vidrines, the Abears, the Paytons, a whole big crew. I want to thank everybody for the kids doing so well, and everyone who helped out. This is the picture. It's at Rapides Coliseum. You can see the huge crowd. We had mass there, 2,500 kids. Really, really great event, great music. We want to thank everybody who helped the youth group at St. Landry Catholic Church.
I hope you got some good out of it too.
I did. Yeah, it was nice to pray, and it's motivational to see 2,500 kids.
No, but I'm
fall
talking
on
about
their
really
knees.
good. Now, don't. You know where I'm coming from.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
You're not buried too many bodies together. I can't hide nothing from you. But also, we got a nice note. Another thanks from Our Lady of Mercy. Their youth group was there as well, and they want to thank everybody. They had, I think, 2 garage sales and a bake sale too. They want to thank everybody who helped their youth group from Mercy go over to the thing. So we saw Holy Ghost
And who
was
sent
there.
you that note?
Good
Miss
crowd.
B.
That's from Miss B. Savoy over there. She
From
actually attended. She was one of the
DCG.
chaperones.
Oh
So
yeah. Well,
good morning, B.
Good morning, Miss B.
And that's all the photos I got. And what am I doing for sponsors? I think I'm in pretty good shape. Oh, the photos we had at the Women's pageant came from, Chasey? Chasey DeVille.
And she's now maybe, what, a touchette? Married and a baby, and had the baby with her.
Right, no kidding.
Yes. Thank you, Chassie. I went up to her and I gave her my card with the email, and she took care of that last night.
This Saturday night, Delta Grand, $8 in advance, $10 at the door. You can go here. Gino Delafalce from 9:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. in the morning. Go to deltagrandtheater.com for more info. What else you got?
Okay.
Obituaries. You got any you want to get?
Yes.
Besides John's. We got John.
We have Carol Vigée, who was the wife of a person who was deceased several years ago, Bube Vigée, who was well known here in Opelousas. Our sympathies to her family. Former legislator Pappy Trish, you remember, boy, he was very, very instrumental in a lot of law issues. A person who died while I was gone is Gene Terrio. And of course, I knew Gene and know some of the family members, my deepest sympathies. Mr. Pancho Darby Jr. And of course, he was one of the boxers. He's age 74, I'm roughly my age. And I recall him as a successful boxer with the Sunset Boxing team, and attended several of our reunions, I might add. And also, Merlin Clay died while I was gone, and of course his son Kent is my exterminator at the house, the only person, I guess, that has a key to my house except myself. So our deepest sympathies. I've known Merlin, of course. He's a little bit younger than me, 70, but it was a small town, and I knew his late twin brother, Marvin, who passed away several years ago. And I think that pretty much covers our obituaries, and took care of Sean and thanking him. And I see where the little quarrel between the Broussard group, city and City of Lafayette are still having
it looked like they were going to come to the table, but I think Broussard doesn't want to drop the suit, so they're still after it.
Over in the Bon Nouvelle, which is Bobby Dardo's very interesting newspaper, at least for me, and others that get it tell me the same thing. They said he did it again, see page 3, and of course they're speaking of Chad Swallow, who is the club champion. Nothing new. He's been a club champion several years now. Nice looking young man. And he said he's been playing on that course ever since he was a child. And of course, one of the awards that were given out at their annual meeting to honor the different championship champions. The club president, Robert Lawney, presented the President Award to Faye Lemoyne. I'm sure she's assisting in the operation of the tournament and other things that go on in the Ville Platte Golf Club and Country Club. And the Fred Baudelaire, that's Uncle Fred to Adelaide and all the Labars over, and Baudelaires over in Ville Platte, award went to Jim Colligan. And Jake Ordwant, a son-in-law of Mr. Fred's, presented it. Of course, his wife is Jean. And then Pud Fontenot, you know Pud. Dr. Luke Baudelaire is another sibling, child of Mr. Fred's. And of course, Frida, let's see, Baudelaire, but she's married to Frida Baudelaire. We'll just call it that. And I'll get it out in a minute. Her R.M. Rodney Meyer, Frida Meyer.
Bingo, that's
Bingo,
it.
Got it, boy. Just had to work hard at that one, Frida.
I know all the daughters, but it take a while to remember. That's right.
I'm right. I think that's the
correct.
That's the
You're absolutely
extent
correct.
Of the family.
Saw her at the funeral as well.
Exactly. Sure did. And let's see. Flying J picked up some fuel, had some problems over there. Y'all watch, these pre-approvals can get kind of tricky. And these truck stops, they won't turn it on until you give them a card that, and they put a big number and they turn ramp down on using my card, so he didn't think anything was pre-approved. Well, I found out, so I went in and they pre-approved it for $150. Well, they had already pre-approved it for $500 and told him the card wasn't good. Well,
so you were buying $650 worth of fuel at that point.
So Visa immediately cut the card. They cut the card. That's why they knew it was something unusual that I was doing. So I called up and they reinstated the card. It's kind of embarrassing. Luckily, I had another card.
Because the first thing you think of is that you didn't pay your bill. That's why.
Well, I knew I had paid mine before I left. But that's the feeling they get.
Oh, sure.
You people that's in the back of you, listening to the conversation, all of a sudden their ears get big. Look at that guy trying. Look at him, old gray-headed man trying to beat him out of some fuel. But anyhow, it's a good safety security that's the second time that's happened to me. So
the nice part now, you got a cell phone. You can make that call pretty easily back to the credit card company.
Went back to the.
It's not like the old days when you had the hotel and you had to go get on the wall. I had them turn me down one time, and the lady on the phone said, "Well, the reason why we turned you down is because you bought gas in Louisiana and you bought gas in Georgia, and then you're trying to check in the hotel." I said, "Well, I can't go on vacation." She says, "You never go on vacation. That's why we're showing it's out of your pattern. We want to make sure that it was you."
That's correct. Out of your pattern. That's exactly what the lady told me.
50 seconds
they put
left.
me, oh Lordy. Well, the Equine Sales of Louisiana LLC, Mr. Harold Foreman's company, along with other investors, Ms. Michelle Rodriguez, of course, is with Elite Thoroughbreds, is one of the active members in that LLC group. They are having their first sale will be Louisiana Summer Yearling Sale, September the 4th, 2012. That's right on the exit, the Harry Gilbo exit between I-49 and 182, and time is going real fast. Like we both like to ask you, please consider attending the church of your choice this weekend. And most loving Savior, give me the desire to serve others with love and to offer myself for them as you have offered yourself for me. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for listening.
And happy 4th of July next Wednesday.
And happy 4th of July next Wednesday. Right.